Hey guys, it's Alexander Williamson, and I am talking to you on the channel The Secret History Living Inside of Your Aquarium. So recently I put in some algae, which is just kind of a shrimp update on the population. You can see we've got a wild type. It may have been a jade shrimp, or it could have been a chocolate shrimp that just kind of reverted. I don't know that it's fully Neocaridina. I think it may have something else in it. I don't know how they interbreed, but it is a big guy, or girl, should I say. There are also brand new shrimp that were born last night. Clearly you can see them there. They're about the size of a shrimp's eye almost, and then there's the blue one there that was born within the week, and you can see some really teeny ones up in here that have no color yet, and then there's the one that was born 2 or 3 weeks ago right here. So in this little frame right now, we've got every stage of development pretty much, from the shrimp adult that is, or shrimp juvenile that is not quite ready to have its young yet, to the shrimplets, which are only going to be filter feeding, and then the intermediate size where they start to show what their color is going to be. Now we've got the albino ram's horn snails here. We've got the pond snails here. I put in some crab food, like specifically for crabs, and they seem to like that. I hadn't fed them in a couple days. They've just been eating algae and fish food that was left over in the tank from a while back. But this is a great way. Don't feed them for a couple days and then give them food, and they'll all come to the wherever you put the food. And if you establish a spot where that food is, then you can kind of get a count. And I was going to try to count the babies, but I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. There's over 30 right in this area on this rock, but they're just hard to see. But it's a good way to do it. Also, you can see if you missed any culls. So this one, this striped shrimp, will probably be culled out, although I do really like its patterns. It's gonna throw the line off, and we'll have some funky shrimp. This is a blue shrimp, this dark black one actually, and it is, let's see if she's still pregnant. Yes, she's still pregnant. This other blue shrimp, which is a true blue dream, not a blue velvet, but a blue dream, she's clearly like ready to have babies any second now. So that's also good news. I don't see a single shrimp elsewhere in the tank other than right here. So yeah, I don't think I do. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Okay, so we've got like 16 shrimp in the tank right now, which is a good number. And you can see how much redder these shrimp are getting now that we sold the cull shrimp to the local fish store. And then we've been keeping the lesser grade shrimp separate. And there's going to be some mixing going on, but right now we've got females. The 2 blue females have only been with blue males before they were bearing eggs. So as soon as they are not carrying eggs anymore, they will go back up into this tank with the other blue dreams and blue velvets. I have decided to start mixing those strains because people know where they can get blue dreams and blue velvet strains online, but I want to make kind of my own strain with some different traits, and so we'll be doing that in the future. But just wanted to show you some really healthy shrimp. These ones are doing great. We've also got a soul tangerine in this tank, and we need to get some mates for her. Yeah, for her. And we'll see how that goes. We've also got back here now, I'm seeing a almost translucent shrimp, which is definitely not one I want in the population. They color up with age a little bit, as you'll see, but once they reach about 1/4 of an inch, they don't get a ton, they don't change their pattern a ton, and so you can kind of tell what you want to pull out of the population. But Neocaridina shrimp are great for raising in a community tank as long as you're diligent and can definitely make sure there's not even one male in the tank that is not what you want. And so as long as you're keeping track, like I have been, I can keep track of the fact that there are only 2 blue females in here, so I need to get them both out, keep checking on them. And then I also need to start culturing more in this tank and getting different microfauna and flora living in the tank. So just an update. Right here we've got the ideal, the fire painted red, you'd probably call that shrimp there. This one's getting ready to molt, but she is also a very strong colored shrimp. The blues are so blue that they're black. And we've talked about that. And then the albino ram's horn, we've got one that's not quite as good, and then we've got one that is the ideal that I'd like to see in this tank. This tank also, we're going to start growing sea monkeys as they're known, but brine shrimp if you want the official wording, and also probably some more copepods and things, because I need to feed my other fish with those, because we're going to be breeding some new fish on the channel. So you see, you couldn't even tell that she was pregnant until she just swam upside down. So I'm really excited to see her babies. As I said, it takes them 6 months to reach maturity, so you have time to pull them out of the tank, and you know by 3 months or so exactly what they're going to look like. And my local pet shop has no problem selling even like the lightest colored shrimp. Some people want them just as a natural kind of look, like something like this, or even the brown ones. So I let them hang out in the tank, but I just have to be very diligent on pulling out the culls as I go. Whereas this one, hopefully she'll breed true. She's only been with Sakura Fires, and she will go back, being that her and him on the left there, those two are the only Sakuras in the tank at this time. And it's fine if he impregnates other females. So it's fine if good shrimp mate with lesser quality shrimp, the males, but it's not okay if the women are lesser quality and the men are lesser quality, because you're just going to go downhill and dilute the gene pool. Whereas I'm fine with working upwards with a nice male in the tank, and then just to make sure to get those colors out. So you really got to get rid of the blues before it's too late, so to speak. And also, I thought it was kind of interesting, you know, you think of snails as these slow things, but some of these snails actually move really quickly and do some funky, weird stuff. But yeah, so there's the Sakura male, or female, I should say. You can't tell the Sakura painted fires are pregnant unless you see their undercarriage. And the males, that's about as red as they'll get. Usually, you can still see a little bit of ribbing on him, but he's not completely like blood red all the way through. So the goal is to have more shrimp like her, the one up top there, and hopefully if he keeps mating with these ones, we'll get that outcome closer and closer. But just need to stay on top of the culling. So that's the update from the shrimp tank here. The shrimp tank up here, we've got the tiger endlers or leopard endlers. We've got some cory cats, and there's shrimp in here somewhere. There's rainbow fish, neon rainbow fish in here now too. Hopefully we can get them breeding, and the endlers will keep breeding. Looks like we have a pregnant female endler right up front here. And then this is now a shrimp tank also, in that we've got the electric blues in here, which are the blue dream and the blue velvet cross. And if you look at my old video on shrimp genetics, you'll know that blue dream and blue velvet, even though they look the same often, they are from different lines of genetic morphing, and so I think it'll make a stronger shrimp, and I actually like the brighter blue. Some of that has to do with the substrate they're living on, but I like that brighter blue. So in the upcoming videos, we're going to be talking about some of what's dominant versus what's recessive. We're going to be talking about these Australian rainbow fish. We're going to be discussing the tank and the history of these rainbow fish and why people don't keep them very often because they think they're not that colorful. But they're full of personality, and they do get colorful as they spawn or as they become adults. And this tank has really settled in with, you know, everybody's looking healthy and happy. So I'm glad that this one's up and running. Now, this is one that I'm having a debate about because she only stands to gain from the strong blue shrimp in this tank, but she is technically a inferior blue jelly, and I don't know if she should stay in this tank. If I put her in the other tank, she'll be diluted. Ideally, I should probably just get rid of her, but yeah, so she's kind of like, she almost looks like a Pintocaridina, but she's definitely Neocaridina. And she could maybe produce offspring that are inferior, but they still have this blue color that I want. So it's kind of like, do I let them be with the dark blues, or do I yank them out and just let them be whatever? As you can see, the rainbow fish are ripping up my landscape, so I need to rearrange some plants and pick some different things. I think we're going to go with all Australian and Papua New Guinean plants, so we'll be doing more plant profiles. We'll be talking mating and genetics, and then we're going to talk about the history of these species coming up as well, and also how weather, climate, and some of the climate change has been impacting some of these fish. It's kind of interesting what they've gone through and what some of the things are built into their genetics for them to survive. So I hope that you're enjoying this process, watching our little shrimp family grow. And you know, now I've made $150 in a month off of these shrimp, and I've bought more fish that I'm hopefully going to raise and make money to keep up the hobby. Basically, you just keep selling and ask for store credit rather than the cash. They're going to give you way less cash. So I've got 150 in store credit. Then you get, you know, start at your different stores. You start buying expensive fish and that are easier to mate or get breeding, and then sell those for cash down the road. So you're really kind of a three-tiered process to make money off of the breeding, rather than that instant gratification of making 15 to 40 bucks here and there with, you know, your cold shrimp. So upon further inspection, I have no idea what kind of shrimp that is. It was probably blue, or I wouldn't have put it in the tank. But that is an oddball shrimp, and I don't know where she came from, but she's going to go into the mixed tank because she may produce some weird offspring or some natural offspring, and there is also a big market for that in Seattle. So if you like this, if you're learning anything, if you've enjoyed the channel, the shrimp stuff or the crib stuff or the guppy stuff, we've got lots of different things coming up, and we'll have some interviews coming up. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share the videos, and also if you want to keep this going and get more gear like microscopes, like better camera equipment, editing gear, and caves and things like that, so we can have more success with the breeding, more breeder boxes, so forth, please check out the Patreon link. It means a lot because I've demonetized my YouTube in that I don't want you guys to have to watch a bunch of ads, and at this point in time I am going to try to get rid of the ads for you guys, and those of you who can spare it, if you want to help out on Patreon, that's where you can do so. Otherwise, just enjoy. I totally get it if you can't spare the money right now. But if this is bringing you happiness and entertainment and you're learning something, it means a lot to me to get that support. So thanks, guys, and I hope you're having a great day, taking care of your fish, taking care of yourself, and keep on swimming. We'll talk to you next time.